a course in men's health, and I didn't even realize that I didn't know so much about, even though I knew that men's health is not talked about at all. Like, men don't talk about their health. You don't really hear a lot of just conversations about men's health. We do hear conversations about mental health, which is something that really needs to be discussed more, and for resources to start being put out. And so I have the different health issues here. I'm not going to go over too many. I think I just want to do the mental health and the emotional health. Now, emotional health is a person's ability to accept and manage feelings through challenge and change. Emotional distress leaves people susceptible to physical illness, cardiovascular disease, and immune system repression, and emotional distress. Now, we know that men have an extremely hard time expressing their emotions, and I know that this comes from, childhood. I see men or dads that tell their boys, you're not supposed to cry. Boys are not supposed to cry. And I wish men would stop teaching their boys that. Now, of course, we don't want some crybaby ass little boy that's always crying and just ain't got no toughness in them. We ain't talking about that, but men do not overstand the emotional world. They think it's just a feminine quality, and it's not. Men and women have both feminine and masculine energies. You have to balance the both out. You don't always lean on one side. You don't always lean on the other. Everything is about balance. Everything. And so we know that men have a problem of expressing themselves. It seems like only, but we just go stick to this. We know that men have a problem with expressing themselves and really saying how what they really feel inside. Maybe sometimes I feel like they don't know the words to use. I feel like it's just an embarrassment for them to be able to express themselves, because society has programmed us to think that a man expressing himself is weakness. Because we always hear women in their songs expressing themselves and saying what this man, that man did, But men, they kind of get a negative connotation when they're trying to express themselves, or people just write them off as if they're emotional. Now, there is some overly emotional men, I'm not even gonna lie. Or this is something I wanted to show y'all too. There are some emotional men, but like I said, everything is about balance. We don't need no crying ass, whiny ass men. I swear, that was on that show. Do y'all watch Put a Ring on It? The season before this with the guy, I forgot his name, but he, a prime example, straight cry. Well, I'm not gonna say he was a crybaby, but he was able, as a man. I never seen a man like cry or be in touch with his emotions as he was. But I think sometimes he was just going overboard with that whining shit and telling people that he's emotional. Like, I wouldn't tell nobody that shit, but but anyways, everyone is different. Everyone go about things differently. So I wanted to also let you hear something about this show that I watched this weekend. It's called Love and Marriage Huntsville, and I want you to hear what the husbands had to say about mental health. I hope that you can hear it. I hope I'm not moving around too much.
Okay, switch it up. Okay? Then you understand how important it is to have two happy people.
Straight up. Because depression is very serious. Mental health is a real thing that people deal with every day. I have dealt with forms of depression. Mental health hasn't been spoken of in the Black community. I think it was a thing that was hitting back in the day. But yes, I do believe it's something that we need to honestly get more confidence to truly talk about.
Like, if you ask me how important happiness is, I don't give a happiness always comes secondary to commitment. But when Mel just said how detrimental is depression, I can also tell you that at the most successful times in my life, over the last year, I've probably been more depressed than anything. Frustrated with everything. And so just thinking about that, I mean, damn, that's...
So in other words, what you're saying is you'd rather choose happiness than being unhappy.
I'd rather not choose depression.
Okay,
That's
so look at it
of
that way. If you say you'd rather not see depression, do we fight that much harder for happiness than we get to depression?
But you have to have the mindset that it's important.
Correct, and that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm
If you already the same way as well. Right. If you already under the mindset that happiness isn't that important, you don't fight that hard for happiness.
Someone says, "Are you happy?" Well, yeah. I mean, I'm not in euphoria. I'm content. I'm satisfied, but I'd rather not. I'm tired, so I don't know what happiness means in a marriage or in life. What's easy is to not get your hopes up high. So I can say, I can just stay right here and not have to invest in getting my hopes up high. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't know that trying to balance at zero is risking depression.
Pretty sure you heard what he said. That shocked everybody, including me, because I've been watching the show for a few years, and I have never heard him say anything like this. And this man they're literally on their 15-year anniversary, and he said he doesn't know the meaning of happiness, and that he's just tired. We have been put in a society that men only need to work. They need to work. They can't express themselves. They're not supposed to have feelings. They're not supposed to make sure their health is in check. They're not supposed to make sure like their mental health is correct. It's only work. Like he said, he's tired. They look at men and they put this pressure on men to where they get in their mind frame to where if they do sit still or get some type of peace for themselves, it looks as though, once again, like weakness. I don't know what the hell people think is weakness, but the things that we say that is weak is really strength, and the things that we look at and say that is strength is really weak. Like, start looking at some of these words that they use trying to compare something or trying to explain something, because most of the time it really doesn't make sense. So there are 6 million men that are affected by depression per year. Where's these 6 million men at? Like, why? I'm so lost as to why there hasn't been any resources, especially for a black man who has no type of health consciousness in their community, in the hood. People may think that there are healers in the hood. Now, the issue is that they don't know that they're healers, and they don't know that they can give the community hope by just practicing their health rituals and then passing it on. But we don't have anything in the hood like that. They keep it limited. They keep it very limited. So mental health is the overall wellness of how you think, regulate your feelings, and behave. Sometimes people experience a significant disturbance in this mental functioning. A mental disorder may present when patterns or changes in thinking, feeling, or behaving cause distress or disrupt a person's ability to function. Now, like I said, there are 6 million men who are affected by depression per year. They didn't say that they was married. They didn't say that they was single. But there are 6 million men out here depressed, and nobody's saying anything. Probably not even the men. 1 in 5 adults experience a mental health problem each year. So now we need to start within our small groups. We need to start asking each other how we are. Like, we don't do that. We don't do that anymore. Like, we don't do that. That's why I hate social media so much, because people really go on social media to check on people nowadays. Like, they don't call, even I don't call people anymore. Like, it's just, we're so used to texting. We're so used to writing people back. Like, I don't write people back on Instagram, social media. So you would never find me on there. I do emails though, but other than that, I like the old school way. I like meetings and getting together and going out for a picnic and talking that way. I really hate talking on the phone. When I was young, I didn't, but I just hate talking on the phone. And they really give me a headache. So there are 5 major mental health problems that are affecting men. Depression, which we just heard, depression. And they blame other things instead of saying that they really have depression, because you rarely hear men saying that they have depression. They don't talk about their problems. They don't talk about what's bothering them. They don't talk about the hardships they're having at the job. They ain't talking about how their mama is treating them. They're not talking about how their daddy is treating them. They're not talking about how their children is treating them. They don't talk about things like that. Like, it's only sports and manly things that they talk about when they're with they boys, as they say. So another one is anxiety. 19.1 million men, adults age 18 through 54, have anxiety disorder. Now, I can see why at this age they will have anxiety. At 18, you are just not learning. You're just not really getting out there into the world and really seeing what your parents probably already told you was already out there. But do we listen? Nope. We have to learn for ourselves. Life experience is the best teacher. So even if you have kids and they're teenagers and they grown or whatever and they not listening, don't worry, it'll come. They'll start listening soon. Now, bipolar disorder, men age 16 to 25 years. Do you see that? Age 16 with bipolar disorders. We don't know how to act. We don't know what's good, what's bad. Like, we don't know that part anymore. It's like the reality have really been twisted up in some type of sadistic way. Okay? And then there are 90% of men is diagnosed with psychosis and schizophrenia by age 30. By age 30. So all your 20s, like, that's when we should really be pushing the agenda for people to really get a hold and start on their mental health. Because it seems like in our teens and our childhood, that including, it seems like those are the areas when we're susceptible to mental illnesses the most. Because when you're up in age, like where I am right now, like, you're really taking health serious, and you're really understanding that every health conscious has to be on the right narrow, like the physical health, your mental health, your spiritual health, your physical health. You have to give attention to all of your healths, and not just your physical and around here looking good with nice clothes on, but your heart fucked up and you can't forgive nobody. No, we got to stop doing that shit. Like, for real. People need to start addressing how they feel on the inside. Maybe somebody can help and touch somebody to reach out, but we need to start, like, really checking up on people that we care about. It ain't gotta be every day, but I'm learning how to do that a little bit, step by step. This is going to be a double part. I'm going to talk about a lot of things about men's health, because I really enjoyed that class. I learned a lot, and I got a good grade in that class. It really is sad that I had to take a class. Well, I always know about mental health, but men's health, like, I'm so thankful that I took that. Men's health. We need to start pushing them to care more about their health, especially if men are married. Men should not be walking around here. Well, I understand that sometimes relationships are hard, so I know that marriages are even harder. So that men should not have to walk around here married and not knowing what happiness is and being depressed without, something being done about it. So there's going to be many parts, and I appreciate you all for listening. I hope that everyone is taking care of yourself. You're doing your self-care rituals. You hugging yourself. You're doing your shadow work. Taking care of other people. So, and until next time, gods and goddesses, peace.